Hello everyone, welcome back to my next video. Today I'm going to begin a new series on how to live rent-free. It's going to be a series and I'm going to tell you about all kinds of places where you can live either completely free year-round or super cheap year-round. I believe it's going to be the most important series of videos that I've ever made. I know many of you are dissatisfied with your life. Either your economic situation is so bad that you can barely survive on the money you have, and you're thinking, man, all my money goes into my apartment or my house and I have nothing left over. Some of you are doing fairly well economically, but you're just sick of your life. All you do is you go to work, you pay for your house, your apartment, and that's all there is. And you're thinking to yourself, there's got to be more to life than this. How can I live a better life? I'm just treading water through life now. There's got to be more. And believe me, I understand. I came to live in a van for the first time because I couldn't afford to pay rent anymore. I mean, I literally could not afford it. So I was forced into a van. And after a while, living rent-free for so long, I lived in that van for 6 years. My economic situation changed and I moved back into a house. And then I faced the exact same questions many of you are facing. This isn't what I want out of life. I go to work all day, I come home, I support my house. I'm living for this house. This isn't how I want to live. I work, eat, sleep, and then I do it again the next day. Work, eat, sleep. I do that 5 days a week. Then I have a weekend and I rush around and I try to cram into some pleasure and I run errands and I mow the lawn and I shovel the snow and I do everything I have to do. And then it's work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. That was my whole life. It was my whole life, month after month, year after year, decade after decade. And all I could see in the future was work, eat, sleep, a few days off, a few weeks off, work, eat, sleep, another decade goes by. That isn't a life I wanted to live in the least. And maybe one or the other of those applies to you. That's why you're at my channel. That's why you wait until my videos come out and then you watch them. And probably many of you are probably going to every nomad channel out there and watching them all. And you're living vicariously through us for one of those two reasons. Because your life isn't what you think it should be. It's hollow, it's empty, you want more, but you don't know how to get it. Or you're in tough financial shape. And so I get a lot of letters. There's not a week goes by that I don't get a heartbreaking letter from someone. And they are on very low Social Security. They're living on $500, $600, $700 a month Social Security. And they get it, and virtually all of it goes into rent. And maybe they've got some savings, maybe they're getting help from friends, or maybe they're staying with friends and family, and that's coming to an end. I hear a lot from people who have been staying with friends and family, and for whatever reason, that's coming to an end. And what are they going to do? They get $700 a month on Social Security, rent is $800. They're going to be out on the street. What are they going to do? And so this video series is for you. This is how you can live on your $500, $600, $700 a month. I also hear from a lot of people on disability or with health issues, and they can't get disability. They can't work enough. They're fighting to get disability and they're not on it yet, or they've got it and it's so little that they still can't afford rent. Disability can be a real trap. You make enough, but you don't make enough to get to live on and pay rent. But you can't work because you're on disability and you lose your disability. It can be a real trap. I hear from people all the time who are in good health, but they can't make a living wage. Maybe they're working 40 hours a week and making $8 or $9 an hour. Well, in a lot of places, in the majority of places in America, if you're making $8, $9, even $10 an hour, you can't afford to pay rent and live afterwards. After you get $1,200 a month after taxes, and after all Social Security and all that comes out, and you pay rent of $800, $900 plus utilities, you can't live. You're working hard, but you're not making a livable wage. What are you going to do? And you're looking down the future, and if Social Security is still around, and for some of us that's pretty debatable, what are you going to do in your old age? You're going to keep working until you die. There's no future in your life. And that's become a very common, almost no one has a pension anymore. What are you going to do in your old age? You just can't work until you die, or if you can, what kind of a life or future is that? And for those of you who are caught in the rat race, saying to yourselves, oh man, I gotta have more to life than this. Maybe I'm winning the rat race. Maybe I'm doing pretty well financially. I've got the car. I've got the house. I can buy the stuff. I can fill my house full of stuff. And you look around at your house and you say, yeah, I got a house full of stuff, but I don't have a life. I want more out of life than this. I don't want a house full of stuff. I want to live. I want to travel. I don't want to come to the end of my days and look back at a house full of stuff and think, I never lived. That's not a way to go. That's not the way I want to live. And I know, I hear from you, that's not the way you want to live either. Maybe you're winning the rat race, but you stop and you think, I'm still a rat in a maze. That's not what I want. So whatever your situation in life, this might be the most important video you'll ever hear. And I really hope you'll take to heart what I'm saying to you. You don't have to pay rent. You don't have to live in a house. You don't have to have a landlord over your life. You don't have to give away all your life's energy to another human being. You don't have to give up on the life of your dreams and fulfill someone else's dreams. Isn't that what most of you are doing right now? You aren't living the life of your dreams. Your dreams are gone. You're not living them, but you're paying someone else who is living the life of his dream. You're paying rent. You're paying $800, $1,000 a month in rent. You're paying a mortgage payment. So you're paying someone else, and they're living the life of the dreams. The banker's living the life he wants. He's going to Bahamas. He's saving for his old age, but you're not. You're going to work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep. And then you're going to get old and have nothing and have to work until you die. That's where most of us are. You're a rat in a maze caught in the rat race. That's not a good life. It's a soul-sucking life of drudgery. Listen to what I'm going to tell you in this series. You could get out of paying rent. You can live rent-free, no payments. And I know it's hard to believe, but you can. So in this series of videos, we're going to talk about how you can live absolutely rent-free. Let's cover some of the places we're going to talk about. First, and I'm not going to cover them now, I'm just going to tease you a little, and you have to watch the series of videos, and I've proven everything I'm telling you. Either I've done it, or I know numerous people who are doing it. So we're going to talk about dispersed camping. That's what I'm doing right now. Look about me. But this can be your backyard. I am dispersed camping in Georgia right now. This is the Oconee National Forest. I can stay here for 14 days. This dispersed camping in national forests and BLM land is available to you all over the country. There's more of it out west, and I would recommend everyone here move out west, because it's an awful lot easier to live free or cheap out west than here on the east. But you can do it, and I'm doing it right now as living proof. So the first is dispersed camping. I'm not going to cover it. I've already said too much. You can camp for free almost all over the country on public land, national forest. You just have to obey the lands, the rules, the laws. Never leave a mess, never do any damage, leave every 2 weeks or whatever the rules are in that particular place, and they do vary a little bit. So after that, where else can you stay? You can go to Slab City in California. You can live at Slab City year-round for the rest of your life, never pay a penny. You won't be breaking any laws. No one will ever come and tell you to move. No one will ever ask you why you're there. You can live there for free for the rest of your life. Next is Ehrenberg, Arizona. I spend my whole winter there. It's pleasant, it's warm, it's kind of pretty, but in Ehrenberg there's no enforcement. You can go there and sit there and be there six months a year easily. Again, it gets too hot, so I couldn't stay there that long, but I know people who do it year-round, and it's free. That's the bottom line. This is a place you can go and camp all year in one spot and for free. Next, we're going to talk about Indian land. There's around Yuma, there's the Quechen Indian tribe. You can go down there, pay them $80, and they will let you camp on their land for free for the entire year. It's right outside Yuma. It's very near Algodones. They're going to do a video on this. $80, you pay them, you're there for the whole year for free. Next is long-term visitor area. I'm going to do a video on long-term visitor areas. There are 7 of them in the California and Arizona desert. Again, it's 7 months. It runs, what's it run? September through April. I'll cover all that in the video with the details. I'm not going to cover them now, and I might even be wrong. It could be the wrong dates. I don't remember. I'm talking off the top of my head. At any rate, the LTVA, long-term visitor areas, BLM land, most of them offer some facilities. They offer pit toilets, dump stations, and water, and you get those things for your $180 for the 7 months. There are summer LTVAs. They are more expensive. They're $330. They're limited to the east side of the Sierras. There's 3 or 4 of them. I don't know exactly. I'm not all that familiar with the summer LTVAs. They are there. They're perfectly legal. You can stay for the other 5 months. So you can stay year-round at an LTVA, and they're at about 5,000 feet. So it's going to be much cooler. And then another one that I really think is great is the New Mexico State Parks Pass. The state of New Mexico has like 30, and I've covered a video. I went and bought a pass. You'll see me buy the pass. I'll show it to you. I'll put it on my van. That's what you get. I know how to do it. And I'll show you actually some videos of New Mexico State Parks so you know exactly what some of them are. Not all. There's like 30 of them. And most of them have toilets. Most of them have showers. And you get those for free. You can go to use their shower and you can use their toilet for free for the entire year. $225 gives you all their state parks for free for 1 year. If you buy it in October 1st, it's good through October 31st of the following year. You get 13 months. Really, really, really good deal. Some of the parks are beautiful, really beautiful. And finally, we're going to talk about a place called Coyote Howls. It is an actual RV park. It's kind of a primitive RV park. It's $500 a year in an RV park. Again, it's very hot in the summer, really hot in the summer. But people do stay there year-round. The RV park, and it's $500 for the entire year, and you get bathhouses, you get water on your site. You can build a, I think 8x10 structure, shed on the site. It's yours for the year, and there's no electricity. There's water on the site. There's not sewer, so you have to go to the dump stations, and there's dump stations in the whole RV park. So there we go. I'm going to stop there. I probably covered too much detail about the places we're going to talk about. And if I think of any in between now and then, I'll bring those up and make videos on them too. Those are the minimum videos. You can live absolutely free, no rent, rent-free. I'm going to tell you how. I promise you, you can do it if you're willing. If you move into a van, it's very simple. If you have an RV, it's very pleasantly comfortable. But even if you have a van or a car, you can do it. And I'm going to tell you how. Whatever your life situation is, I'm offering you a way out. If you're broke and so poor you don't know how you're going to survive the week, this is an answer. If you're sick of the meaningless drudgery of life, the rat race, if the American dream has become a nightmare for you, I'm offering you a way out. And it's not a pipe dream. I'm doing it. I know hundreds. I know thousands of others who are doing it. You're watching all these YouTube videos. They're doing it. We're not making this stuff up. It's available to you. Please give it some thought. You don't have to live an unpleasant, unhappy life. You can live a great life. Give it some thought. Really, please, give it some thought. So, until my next video, I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you live vicariously through it. I hope you're inspired to take some actions. Whatever you do in life, don't settle for a mediocre, unhappy life. It breaks my heart how many people I hear from who are desperate for a better life, but won't take any chances or risks and make it happen. And my heart breaks for you, and I hope that you can break out of the rut you're in and get out there and live a better life. So I'll stop there. Until next time, like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll visit with you later.